What's up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Christina if you guys are new, and if you are not new and you've been here for a while, hello and welcome to the Sand Fam. My name is Christina. I know I said too much, but today I decided to recreate this look right here that you see from one of another favorite YouTubers, and which is Iluvsarahii. She did this soft full glam look, and I thought, why not try it out? So this is the look and how it came out. But of course, if you guys want to learn how to recreate this look and get this look started, then just stay tuned and keep on watching. And before I go, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell for every time I upload a video. But without further ado, let's just get right into this video. Alright, you guys, what's up? If you guys by any chance notice like a different lighting and just a different background, I have moved to a different location in my house. I decided that I wanted to film here because it's much better. I can hear better, I can speak to you guys, and it's easier for me to get things done while the boys are sleeping and my daughters are in school. So I just wanted to say that. And also, I know that this is just not sponsored or anything, but I have a sister that loves to do like lamination, things like that, for like coffees, candles, soap. She just likes to make like homemade things, and she loves DIY decor and just things in general for like moms or just any woman in general. So she made me this cafecito y chisme, and I love it because just started liking coffee. I didn't really like coffee back then, but now I'm slowly starting to like it. I try not to drink it too much because since I'm on my diet, I've been trying to like do it here and there because sometimes my stomach can get upset and I hate when it starts to get like acid reflux. So these are the things why sometimes I like it and sometimes I don't. I've been losing a lot of weight, good and bad. It's just something that my body's going through. I'm not used to it yet, but that's why you know, I'm trying to get back into the move, and sometimes this helps me get energy whenever I'm like literally out of it and I can't like do anything around my house, or I just can't do anything at all because I'm just done for today. So this kind of helps me. So yeah, off of that, so this is the cup, by the way. If you guys are interested, you could check out my sister on her Instagram page. It is at Miguel Charlene. I will link it down below, but I will also leave her name, and if you follow me on Instagram, I can also tag and leave her name down just in case you can't find her on my description, which of course you will be able to. But let me just take my sip of coffee before we get started into this another recreated look. And yeah, I have my hair pulled back. Of course, I'm not gonna have my hair like this, but the other recreated look that I was talking about was in my other video that I did last time, which was like a Halloween look that I did from Sandy Jarkins. Now this YouTuber, she is another person that I like very much. I like watching. She's very cool, she's very funny, she's energetic, you know, she just that vibe. And I honestly love how she just recreate things, and she's just very, you know, precise with her techniques. I love to enjoy watching her videos and her Instagram stories. So the person that I am going to be talking about will be Iluvsarahii, and the recreated look that we are going to be doing today, I don't think that she has a name to it. It's just a soft matte look, but she did add it like a little bit of some like liner. It's kind of like the same technique that we did from the other video, except without the sponge and without connecting it. It's just two different things. So this is going to be the look that I will be doing. It's very soft glam, is nothing nothing new. It's just soft glam, but it is full coverage. So I don't have a lot of like foundation to cover this look, but I'm gonna do the best that I can, and I'm gonna try to recreate this and try to get this done before I had to pick up my daughters, which I only have like an hour left. So we're gonna first start off by doing the face, and then I think we can do the brows last. I normally do my brows first off camera because my brows take forever, but with this look I've noticed that she sometimes does her brows last, but I mean, you can do whatever you want. I'm thinking about maybe just doing my brows off camera just because I want to make this quick. So you know what, I'll come back, do my brows first, and then we'll return. And back, I literally had to do my brows, and it took a while. It doesn't look identical like hers because of course my brows are a little bit thicker and I haven't really gotten them done. So she used eyeshadow, and I don't have brown eyeshadow for my brows, so I had to use what I had around me, and that's as much as I can get the look to look. That's as far as I can get it to compare like hers, but hers were a little bit thinner. But we're gonna move on from the brows, and we're just gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start priming my lids because I need that brightness under my eyes, since I do have a lot of hyperpigmentation and a lot of discoloration right in this area here. So it's a blessing and it's a curse, because I want to know when will it be the time where God will let me have my my beautiful eyes back without being so tired, because I feel like now my suegro is always asking me if I'm okay, if I'm sick, and I'm like, yes, I'm okay. Like, why are you asking me that? So it's just things, oops, it's just things that it just so happens that I get a lot. And my mom doesn't have it, my dad barely has it, because I mean, he's a guy. So, but I know a family member, but she's not really like related to me exactly, but I do have a cousin, but her mom, on my cousin's side, her mom, she has like under eye bags. So that's why I'm kind of like, oh my gosh, like, she's not that related to me. We're just she's only my aunt because she's married to my uncle, and her daughters are my cousins, so they're blood related. She's like family, but not blood related. So that's where they get it from. I don't know how. It's just a lack of sleep that I get, so I'm trying to get better. And I know that they said that this could be also underlying issues, sicknesses, and you know, whatever you do. I used to smoke a lot back then, a lot, and it was something that you wouldn't get that from me. I wasn't the type of person that was into those things back then. I need to do a story time for you guys about my years in high school. I really want to do that, but I feel like it will be so long and I can go on and on and on for days. So if you guys would like for me to do a story time on my childhood or just my high school years, which was the craziest, then just comment down, let me know, because I got some pretty wild things. Like, I wasn't out there, but I didn't take shit from people, I'll say that. And in my years, I felt like we were living in like the Cholo days. And if you don't know what I mean, then you won't understand. But if you are like a 90s, 91, 92 baby, you know, etc., maybe 94, then you will understand me for saying what I'm saying. And I'm just using this brush, by the way, from Real Techniques. I was going to use my sponge, but I changed my mind because I want to make sure that once I blend all this corrector that it will like cancel out all the redness going on. And I know I added like 2 layers. The first layer that I added was by Milani. And like I said, if I don't mention it, I will list everything down. I'm just prepping my eyes first because I just want to do this before anything. I'm not going to start with my face because, of course, I don't know if she used eyeshadow. So I'm trying to figure out like what eyeshadow she used. But I am going to prime my lids. And I might use my my PLOUISE instead, but I'm hesitant because I'm like in her photo she has like a more nudie type of shade, so I don't know. I think I might just go with my Too Faced Born This Way multi concealing concealer, and I'm just gonna lay that on my lids. And by the way, this concealer, like this concealer is the best concealer ever because it's hydrating and it just covers up so much, but super expensive. Taxes are ridiculous, and not just that, like it was so hard to find my concealer. Like I was losing my mind. I don't know, but a lot of people like to there's probably a lot of people that like the shade Honey, or they're the same shade as I am, and it was hard for me to find it at my local Ulta. And I try to go to Sephora, even though I don't want to go to Sephora because of the situation with Amanda Ensing. So I really wasn't trying to buy it. I was trying to buy it online, but I just didn't want to pay so much for shipping because the taxes lately has been going way up, and it's kind of depressing. Like I didn't expect it to get to where it's at today. And then with this president that we have, if you guys know what I'm talking about, comment like 2 clap emojis or whatever. I'm gonna cover this pimple up, by the way. I mean, I know it's going through it. I was picking at it earlier and I should have just left it alone, but it's fine. I'm just gonna cover it up. That way it doesn't look so bad. And I like to bring out the concealer, by the way, all the way out where my brow bone ends, because I want the colors to extenuate. I just want them to stay in place, if that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, and normally I kind of prime them with some powder, so I'm gonna go in with the Halo Setting Glow, and I'm just gonna apply this just a little bit, and I'm gonna use the Morphe M506 brush, which is this little small fluffy tapered brush. And I'm just going to pat everything in. I don't want to use like a bigger brush because I feel like it gets patchy on my lids. So that's why I like to use a smaller brush, because it fits better for my eye and it just gives it like this nice soft matte on my lids. And I don't have to worry about it being too patchy or too just wrinkly and just not good looking, because I had situations like that before when I started makeup and I hated it. I would always get upset and I'll be like, well, why is not coming out? Like I see these other girls, and I would understand that everybody everyone's, you know, face and skin is different, but for some reason every time I would put it on, because other girls would do it, it would make me realize that it wasn't working for me. So I had to tell myself, no, Dina, you can't. I call myself Dina, by the way. You can't just do that because it doesn't work for your eyes. So I had to tell myself that every time. But anyways, off the rambling, I'm going to go in. I'm thinking about using my Paradise Enchanted palette, but I don't know. Like, it's hard. So what I am going to try to do is I'm going to first start off with Tequila Tan from KYLIE, just to start off with like a nice matte transition shade. And then I'm going to move on to the pink shade from that palette. So I'm going to use Tequila Tan. And I'm just going to place like my favorite brush from Morphe, which is the 330. And I'm just going to put this basically all over. But I just want to start off where my brow bone starts and then where it ends. And then I will gradually start to blend the rest of it. And I'm using just a little bit of product because since I'm going to go a little bit heavy-handed with that pink, I just want to add just a little bit of color, transition color to my my whole lid. So just going in and just basically rubbing all this in. And I think we are good on that. I'm just gonna keep blending this because I need just a tad bit of a nice look. Alright, so now that we finished with that, I'm going to go back with the L'Oreal Paradise Enchanted, and I'm going to grab this pink shade. You can use a flat brush. I'm really not feeling the flat brushes, so I'm going to go back with that same taper brush that I used earlier to set my lids, and I'm going to use this pink shade. It's number 4, and I'm going to just apply that on basically the lid, like half of the lid. And we want to make this like just a little bit pink where it's noticeable but it's not overbearing, because we don't want it to take over the soft glam. We just want it to be very settled but just easy. And I'm just applying this, and I'll probably go back over with my other brush before we finish, because this is just the simplest look ever. I think this is the easiest out of basically the whole look. If you ask me, if I could just do this for everyday like glam, if I want to go out or something, I would literally do this. But then when you have like eyeliners, then it just becomes a little bit harder. But I mean, I like a challenge, so I like to challenge myself and, you know, get creative to get better at my makeup game. So that's why I just go and I like to really take my time, but make sure that those colors are blending in nicely. And my crease is really crazy, like, you guys. Like, if you haven't noticed it, it's just not the type of crease that you would look for. Like, there's days where I can do a nice matte look and it looks phenomenal. But then there's days where I'm just like, why is my crease so ugly? Like, I just don't have good crease lines. Like, I don't. My lid space is just too open, but then again it's short. I know I'm not even, I just go back and forth with the shadows, and I would just say just kind of start rubbing all of it, like brushing it all together after you kind of got the rest of it on the lid, and then you just go back and forth and then just kind of finish the rest. Alright, now the next thing that I want to try out, which you don't have to do this is optional, but I wanted to give it a try because I like to experiment. So I'm going to use this LA Color Squad Cream Lipstick. It's really a lipstick, but I want to put this on my lids just to give it like that nice nudie pop on my eyes. It's kind of like blends, and it gives it like this nice look. So what I do is I just pat it in. and then I start to tap. I tap and then I pat it in, just so it gives it a nice pop. Because sometimes some shadows don't do it. I mean, that shadow, that eye palette, for sure, it'll give you like the best coverage, I mean, of colors on your eye. But personally, me, I like to be a little bit extra. So that's why I like to go in and add a little. I like to do things differently, is what I meant to say. Alright, so I'm just gonna go in and just keep patting, and then just kind of rub it in, because we don't want it to be too patchy. Okay, and we are done with that. Now moving on, this is now going to get the tricky part, because this part is where she starts to do the line. You guys, you're going to have to really pray for me, because I usually get this right and sometimes I don't. So hopefully it comes out good. So I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Mega Liner in Black Noir. And I'm going to start off on this eye first, because if I mess up, okay, I did the best that I could on this side. It's not all the way how I wanted it to, but that's fine. I'm gonna do the other side off camera. But what you want to do in case, like, let's say you mess up, dang, I just rubbed it. So if you mess up, just go back and just clean it up and use like an angle brush, and that should help, you know, finish the thinning of the liner, and then you should be good from there. I'm going to do this off camera, and then when we return, we'll do the rest of the look. Alright, guys, this liner took forever. Like, I had to restart all over on my eye, because hers was a little bit more shorter. I think she had it more curved in, but of course, like I said, my lid is crazy. It's different. So I had to take my time and do little strokes, little lines, and then I went back with like a concealer, and I basically just sorry you guys, let me just fix this part. I just basically just went over it with like a black eyeshadow in case some of it didn't come out well, and I just used that. I used my what is it, the Rimmel London palette, and I used the black shade from that palette just to go in on any little holes that needed to be cleaned up and covered. Because sometimes this liner is super good, but sometimes when you're doing these type of looks, sometimes the liner can mess up, and then you have to go back and retry, and then sometimes you don't want to keep going back over it, because then it doesn't cover up the look. So I did finish, and I did both of these sides. It was really hard, I'm not gonna lie, you guys, but I got it so far to how I want it. Now the next part that I have to do is basically just from here, I think we are going to move on and do the the wing liner. And that one is like another struggle for me because hers is a little bit thick. Normally I like to do mine's pretty easy, but I'm not gonna use this liner no more. I just realized that I had got like another like a ink liner for my eyes, and I don't know where I put it. Excuse me. All right, so I'm back. So this is my favorite liner. It's a drugstore. It's the perfect tip. Like they had the next one, but I kind of felt like the tip of that one was a little bit fat and too thick, and this one was very thin, as you guys can see. Look how thin it is. And on top of that, like the best part is you can create cat eyes in case you don't know how to do like a wing, and you can just place it literally, if I'm not mistaken, like this, or wait, how do you do it? I think you do it like this, and it gives you like that nice I don't know exactly how it's supposed to be, but I'll show you guys on a next video on how to use this little bad boy. But today I'm gonna finish doing this part here, and yeah, and we should be done with the look. I literally had a mess up, so I probably might have to go back with that eyeshadow, but for now I'm just gonna try my best to do it exactly like hers. It might not be just like hers, but I'm gonna try to fix. I swear I should have used this one instead. All right, so we're gonna go in, and she starts off in the corner of her eye, so I'll come back to that. I'm just gonna first start off shaping the wing liner on my eye first, and I'm gonna do this side so you guys can see. You guys, it took me forever. Like I literally had to retry this look three times already. So I'm finished. This is how it came out. It's not the best look. I usually don't like these type of wing liners, but to create this look, it takes a while. So I'm still learning. Like if I was already like good at doing like a really thick liner, like it would be a piece of cake to me. But because it took me a while, I had to make sure everything was in order. Here, you guys, I'm just so unorganized today. Like everything is not just coming out the way I want it. Okay, so now that we finished with that, I'm gonna go ahead and start with my face. I already corrected my my under eyes, but of course if you like to go back, you can. I'm gonna probably go again one last time with the e.l.f. just under my eyes right here, since I've been dealing with the eyeshadow and I had messed up a couple times, so I'm just gonna go over that eyeshadow a little bit. Oh my gosh, tell me if you guys have any gnats where you live, because these gnats, they don't go away. Like they just want to stay, and I'm just like it's time for you to go. Like you need to go, and they just want to stay and play. All right, so I'm just gonna do that situation, and then I'm gonna go with my my brush from Real Techniques, and I'm just gonna blend my under eye with it. And if you guys hear any background noises, those are my babies, in case you guys are wondering, like, what is all that commotion? It's my babies, my children. I try to go a little bit slowly around the area where I had to make that triangle, because that one was pretty easy, but like it was also hard because I had to make sure it was very thin, because hers seemed thick at first, but it was really thin. now that I finished with that, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use the Acne Putty Primer, and I'm gonna use this on my face since I've been breaking out, and I'm just gonna place this on the areas where I want my face to be primed. So I'm going in with this little bad boy here to kind of keep my makeup intact. So I like to really take my time and pour out. Use this pore filling primer just so everything is nicely done. And I like how it just has like that nice smell to it, and it's just the best combination. I already dirtied it. Look, this is how it looks. It's the green one. I think I tried the other color, but I will have to do a review on the putty primers from e.l.f. All right, now that we finish with that, I'm gonna go ahead and start going in with foundation. So here's the thing, like I noticed that I got tired of having to do like foundation, concealer. So now what I do is I use basically the same concealer from Too Faced as my foundation. Now I know it may seem crazy to you because for some people it won't work, but for me I feel like it does. It kind of like removes everything, and I don't have to use so much coverage. I could still make it work, but I could, you know, use whatever I have. So I'm just gonna use this on the areas where I want to correct, and then I'll probably go in with some foundation next. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start setting the concealer on the parts where I kind of want to be covered up. And I'm just gonna leave this just sitting for a couple minutes, and then I'll go in and I will correct it. I will blend it. So I'm just gonna add just a couple swipes on my face for the concealer, and then I'm just going to blend it with the sponge. And as I'm doing that, I'm gonna go in slowly under the eye. And don't worry if you don't get all the way in the little crevices area. I have a technique that I use, so whenever I can't use the sponge on details like this, I usually go with my brush from e.l.f. and I'll show you guys what it looks like. Second. So I'm just gonna blend all this in slowly, and you can kind of see how everything is now nicely blended. It's going with my complexion. It's a little bit, tad bit light because, like I said, I have 2 tones of skin type. So sometimes on this part I'm very tan, and on the outside I'm more light. I just always been that way. Okay, so I'm just gonna blend all this in with my Sonia Kashuk sponge. Okay, once I finish, I'm gonna grab the duo complexion, and I'm just gonna kind of go over where I didn't blend, and then kind of press and then swipe upward motion. That way the concealer blends. So I'm gonna take my time to do this and just blend. All right, and I'm gonna stop here. Quickly before I go, we are gonna do the under. She did like some line under her lash line, so we will be doing that. I'm just gonna go ahead and fast forward on the rest of this look because you guys already know how my foundation routine is, and it takes like forever. So if you guys are interested in me doing a foundation routine with my recreated looks, then just comment down below and let me know. But for now, I will be having all of the products in the description box. I'm going to fast forward this and I will be back. You guys, I literally have a mess everywhere. Alright, so now that I finished doing half of my face, I didn't get to finish the full face because I wanted to show you guys the blush. And then maybe cut the crease a little bit down my cheek. So I'm going to go in with Turks and Caicos in the e.l.f. Putty Primer with the Putty Primer brush. And I'm first going to start off by applying this because she applied heavily on her cheeks, the blush. So I'm going to try to mimic how she did it, but she literally just kind of rounded it all the way up. And I'm first applying cream blush because it won't look as good as if you just apply powder. And what she did was she just applied a lot of cream blush and she went over it with the powder to make like her skin glow. So that's what we're doing. And you just want to do like a circular motion and just kind of bring the product upwards. So if you do have this blush, this is a great blush to start off with. Even if you want something like simple, subtle, natural, this blush is super buildable, it's very pigmented, and it's affordable. So I mean, you can't beat that price when it's affordable and it's cruelty free. So I love e.l.f. products, and if you love them too, then that's awesome. So I'm just kind of covering this up how I want it to look. And once I get kind of the pigment that I want on my face, now I'm going to go in and I'm going to use KYLIE's We're Going Shopping blush. And I'm just going to press onto this Real Techniques 200 brush. Tap off the axis, and I'm just going to slowly start to build it. And I'm using light pressure on this part because it's very pigmented, and I don't want to go in too heavy where it just looks too red or too pink. After I use that, don't panic, because a lot of times some people's like, oh my gosh, like that's too much blush, I can't. So what I like to do is I like to get like a regular brush, and sometimes I like to just go back and lightly pressure, like just kind of blend it in a little bit. That way it doesn't look so harsh or just too much on the face. So I like to just lightly blend that blush in a little bit good. That way it's still nice and not so overpowering on the face. Now that I finished with that, I'm gonna cut the I said I'm gonna cut the crease. I'm going to carve out my cheekbones. That's what I meant to say. And I'm just gonna do it right where I added the blush. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it on there for a couple minutes while that bakes for a second, and I'm gonna just go back and look one more time on the look, And I am going to add a little bit of the bronzer from KYLIE as well, just to touch up on some areas where I just want it to be bronzed a little bit. She doesn't have a lot of bronzer, but I could be wrong. But I just want to go back and kind of like add a little bit of warmth to my skin, because I don't want this part here to be too light and it starts to look a little bit weird. So that's why I'm gonna go in with this contour nose brush from e.l.f. and I'm just gonna press that product in to my skin. And then I'm taking it down. Once I finished with that, now we're gonna go back with that brush that I was using in the beginning, and I'm just going to dust it off, but kind of blend everything together. I love this brush, by the way. I think I need to get more of those brushes because it's really nice. I'm going to go back and I'm going to use the contour palette from e.l.f. and I'm just going to kind of warm up my forehead a little bit more because KYLIE's Tequila Tan is not showing up, and I have her old bronzer because I know she came out with a new formula, so this one is kind of like not doing it for me. So I'm just going to go in and just kind of contour my nose a little bit and warm up my face on my forehead, and then we are going to move on to the next step. Okay, now that that is done, I'm just looking at her eye, and I noticed that now she had kind of went over it with that liner. I'm gonna use the one that I was using previously, but then I changed my mind, so I might go back with the Flash Cat Eye from L'Oreal, and I'm just gonna run that under my eye. He added like black eyeliner, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't have any eyeliner for this part, so I didn't put it here. So I'm just gonna put black eyeliner underneath my eyes, and then I'm gonna move on with mascara, lashes, and then the final look. Alright, now that we finished with that, I'm going to go ahead and use the True Matte Lumi Glow Lotion, and I'm just going to, I applied some right on the palm of my wrist, and I'm just going to add just a little bit right in the center to kind of give me like that nice glow. Since she has a little bit of glow going on her cheeks, so I want to make sure that that looks almost identical like hers. But you can use any lotion, liquid, whatever you have, or highlighter, and that will work just fine. I'm just using that because I don't really have a highlighter. I mean, I lied. I do. I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Peach. Is it Peach? Right, now that we finish with that, I am going to use the e.l.f. Big Mood eyelash. And this was like new, but somehow I decided to just add it to my cart today, so I wanted to try it out, and I needed a mascara, so I went out and actually my son put this in the cart. I wasn't thinking of getting this, but he put it, so I was like, what the heck, might as well try it out, right? So I'm just gonna do this to my lashes. Lash mascara from e.l.f., which is this one here. It's already dirty, I know, don't come for me. I gotta buy me a new one anyways, but I usually don't use this, but for this look I wanted to use it because it's been a minute, and this brow gel gives me like this nice fluffy look, and it's super natural. Thing that we're gonna do is contour the lips or add some lip liner on the lips. So she uses a brown lip liner, so I was gonna use the Murillo lip liners, but I kind of got over that phase because I'm always using their lip liners. So I went out and I bought 2 lip liners from NYX Cosmetics, and their shades were pretty, I would say they were okay, but the only shades that I could find was if I could find it, it was Sandstorm and London. So I'm gonna use Sandstorm and London together, but I'm gonna first start off with Sandstorm and then I'm gonna go in with London. With the Artist Couture on the center, and I think she did add a gloss, so I don't know what gloss to use particularly. So what I am gonna do is I'm gonna go in with the lip butter from Tree Hut, which is this one here, and I'm just gonna grab like a flat. My camera died. All right, so I had to use my phone. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the gloss from Tree Hut to my lips. And it smells so good. Like, this gloss is super moisturizing and it just goes so well with the lips. And then I'm gonna clean up my lips because sometimes it kind of looks a little crazy and I don't want it to. So I'm just gonna use a little bit of my Too Faced Born This Way concealer just to clean up on the edges of my lips. Alright, you guys, I didn't get to show you guys the lashes before I go and I get dressed, so I wanted to show you these lashes. They are by Atlanta owned brand, and they are called Real Life Villain, and I'm in the style Marilyn, which are these right here. I had on some other ones, but I don't know where the other one went, and when I was about to film, I looked at myself and I was like, where's my other lash? So I didn't even have time to even look for it, but these are my favorite lashes. I think in my other video I talked about it. It's Maggie, Marilyn, and Cleopatra, and my favorite of all is Jane. But this one is very flirty. It's very like princess like look, and I just like how it just gives me like that nice flare in the front, and it's just very kind of wispy on the sides. So this is Marilyn for you guys to see, and I'm gonna go change. I'm gonna go ahead and change, and I'll be right back. All right, you guys, this is the final look. How you guys are feeling this look? Just let me get you guys up close. It took forever, I'm not gonna lie. This literally took like a couple hours to do, but I got it to work because I wasn't really feeling the thick eyeliner, so I had to kind of squeeze and kind of skinny it out just to get that look. I also had to add a little bit of powder because I was getting a little oily around here, but nothing the less, pretty much everything came together. I even added it with this little cute little well, we call it pinches, but other countries is moño, but I mean we could say moño and pinche with it,
whichever one it works best. But yeah, I paired it up with this thing that this little pinche that I got from Dollar Tree. And yeah, these earrings I already had in my collection, and I have on like this nice little cute dress, which is really a dress, and my little white top. So this is it for today. I appreciate every love and support from you guys and recreating these looks. Hopefully soon I will be trying to do a Bible story. So keep an eye out on upcoming weeks for a Bible story / makeup. But this is it for today. I don't have nothing else to say. I just want to say thank you so much. God bless. I will see you guys next time on my video. Y los quiero, los amo. Dios los bendiga. Bye. Peace.